Athletic skill and dogged determination. You'll find them both on display here at Gladiator Arena as America's best contenders take on the American Gladiators. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamley along with Larry Zonka. Competition in our second half season continues here at Gladiator Arena. Today, Larry, our final preliminary round matchups. Who do you look for?
Well, Mike, we have two fine contenders, but the fella I'm going to keep my eye on is a fella named Jimmy Echols. One-time defensive back at Texas Tech, male dancer now. He knows how to hit and move.
His opponent will be Charles Neal, 25 years old from New York City, originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's a personal trainer and wants to become a rapper. For the Gladiators, it'll be Turbo, Viper, and Saber. Determined as ever. Powerball, 45 seconds. Contenders try to score as many times as they can in one of the 5 cylinders. Goals on the outside worth 2 points. A goal in the center cylinder worth 3. And Powerball is brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Super NES. Now you're playing with power. Super power.
Contenders ready! Gladiators ready!
Ooh, Charles Neal, sweet move to open things up against Turbo.
Another nice move by Charles.
Charles Neal, the real deal. 30 seconds left to go. Jimmy Echols still looking for his first goal.
Charles with a nice overhand score on Saber. Put a nice football move on him and then reached over his shoulder to score.
Since this is the first event, it's really hard for our Gladiators to gauge what kind of athletic talent our two contenders have. I think they have found out, certainly in the case of Charles Neal. Saber knocks him out of bounds, and Jimmy Echols finally gets on the board.
Saber with great form, feet under him, blowing the contenders right out of bounds.
And that is it, but a great way to start things off for Charles Neal of New York City. All the goals scored in the outside cylinder. Charles wins it 6-2.
Check these moves out, Mike. He's one-on-one right here with Turbo. From a standing start, leaves Turbo in the dust, picks up an easy score, turns right around and does almost the same thing to Saber, gets him to overcommit.
Charles Neal, you got the feel, and Powerball, you were the real deal. Rap to us, my man.
No, some cover it up. Me, I like to show off. Step into the weight room, my hormones go straight off.
6-2, nice going.
Thank you. Thank you.
Charles Neal, you have bragging rights with great moves like these.
Well, they're bad and they know it. Storm, Sky, and Siren, the 3 Gladiators our 2 contenders will have to take on here as the women go at it in Powerball. And for this preliminary round match, it'll be Signa York, 29 years old from Columbus, Ohio, where she's a news photographer. She shoots and edits news stories for WBNS TV 10 in Columbus. Her opponent, Lisa Wojciechowski, 29 years old from Laguna Hills, California. As you mentioned, Larry, training to become a firefighter, but she's also an aspiring screenplay writer.
Well, with a name like Zonka, they shortened it to Zonk. The name like Wojciechowski, they call her Wojo.
And Signa York right off the bat scores. Wojo taken down by Siren.
Signa with a nice moves, trying to break away. Wojo with that little more direct approach. There she tries a stiff arm.
Storm rides her out of bounds. Signa getting double teamed at the other end. 25 seconds to go. Both contenders, it appears, have run out of steam. Sky wraps up Wojo there.
Wojo dropping that shoulder, trying to drive through Sky. That won't work, but move down there worked very well. She picks up a score in the corner.
Time running down. You hear the crowd, and that is it. Lisa Wojciechowski and Signa York to a 4-4 tie. Both women score 2 goals.
Signa with a little bit of different type strategy here. She puts a move on Siren. Siren actually blocks the shot, throws her back. Signa just sort of lofts one in there.
And you'll see from Siren's helmet cam that Signa serves as an unwitting screen for Lisa Wojciechowski. She follows in behind her and scores. The storm clouds are brewing here at Gladiator Arena.
The Samuel Goldwyn Company presents the American Gladiators.
So 1 event down and 7 to go in this final preliminary round matchup here in our second half season. In the men's competition, after our first event, Powerball, Charles Neal has a 6-2 lead over Jimmy Echols. Our women are all tied up at 4 apiece, Signa York and Lisa Wojciechowski. And what a story Lisa is.
Well, Mike, Lisa's probably one of the most serious contenders we've ever had here. Even in the practice round, this gal had her mind set to the task, plans on winning here at American Gladiators.
Well, 2 years ago, her mother passed away, the victim of a rare lung disease. She has devoted her performance here in the American Gladiators to the spirit of her mother. And she's ready to go in our next event. It's women's Skytrack. There's our look at our 7-ton race course suspended from our arena ceiling. And Lisa will be in lane 1. In lane 2, our Gladiator, and it is Electra. And in lane 3 will be Signa York. And once again in Skytrack, our Gladiator, essentially a pace setter. First contender who beats the Gladiator across that finish line will pick up 10 points.
Signa already having trouble maintaining control. Both contenders having trouble controlling themselves in the turns. They must get their feet up there to stabilize themselves.
Again, the contender's mission to try to beat our Gladiator. Electra the first to reach the turn. She's now headed for home and looking to be an easy victor. Again, the first contender across the finish line will get 5 points.
Electra displaying perfect form, hand over hand, keeping those legs up even when she's not helping herself with her toes. She keeps her legs up.
Again, this surface made completely of Velcro. Lisa Wojciechowski using those Velcro gloves to propel herself across the finish line. She will get the 5 points.
Well, Mike, I really think Wojo would have been much happier with 10. That's what she had planned on. There's our winner, Electra. Check Wojo out. She's on the left side of your screen here. Great power strides, but watch what happens in the turn. She doesn't use her feet right there to stabilize herself, and as a result, the momentum throws her into a spin. Now, Electra, on the other hand, demonstrating great technique, a little slower, perhaps the tortoise and the hare, feet apart, good rhythm with her hands, and as a result, she wins.
On to the men we go now, Larry, where Charles Neal holds a 6-2 lead over Jimmy Echols. After 1 event, Charles will be in lane 3, our Gladiator Viper in lane 2. Jimmy Echols will be in lane 1. Referee Larry Thompson about to start them on their way. Jimmy Echols first out of the blocks into turn 2, and right now it's Charles Neal.
Charles with that strong upper body, but he's losing his form on the turns. He has to utilize his feet and legs a little more.
Jimmy Echols the first to reach the turnaround. Slowed down a little bit in turn 3. But he looks to be on his way to victory and 10 points. And Charles Neal may get the 5 because Viper has lagged behind unless he can pick it up a bit. Charles Neal gets 5 points, so a double victory for our contenders.
Viper says he would much prefer this track if it was right side up. But unfortunately, it is not. Jim Echols using great upper body strength. He's closest to you right here. Look at this. I didn't think he could make it through this turn without using his feet more than he did. He uses his feet just enough to slow his momentum down so he doesn't spin out. But that upper body strength is what it's all about for him.
Well, at the moment, Electra is not right side up, but she better be. Breakthrough and Conquer next. Breakthrough and Conquer event number 3 here in this preliminary round matchup. Our women will start things off. A look at Lisa Wojciechowski, who has a 5-point lead over Signa York after 2 events. And there is Sky. She will be inside the Conquering. And Electra is getting the crowd revved up. She will man Breakthrough. Again, a contender can pick up 10 points if they're successful in both segments. Wojo, pretty nifty move. Drags Sky across the plane of that goal line for 5 points.
She didn't fool Sky with a move. She just powered across that goal line from about 3 yards out. Great job.
Now she's got 15 seconds to knock any portion of Electra's body outside that Conquer ring.
This girl has a lot of power, Mike.
Again, it is much easier to pull someone out than to try to stay in there. But Wojo, with that power that you mentioned, Larry, did the number on Electra and gets the full 10. 5 for breakthrough, 5 for conquer. She's got 14 points after 2.
Strong shoulders and a strong back.
Lisa, because there's 19 letters in your last name, for the rest of this competition, can we just say Wojo?
Wojo's great. Lisa Wojo's great.
Did you expect to get the full 10 here in breakthrough and conquer? I mean, my goodness, Sky and Electra, those people aren't exactly slouches.
They're formidable opponents, but I had my mom with me. She took me across the line.
Nice work, Lisa. 10 points.
Thank you.
Both a dedicated athlete and a hard-working athlete. As we take a look at Signa York lining up, she'd like to take away 10 points in this event also.
And how did Signa train for today's competition? Well, she figured that lugging around 50 pounds of camera equipment was adequate training. Signa, news photographer for WBNS TV 10 in Columbus.
Get ready.
Signa will have to face off against Sky in breakthrough. There's her formidable presence. Signa trying to make a move. Sky rides her down, and Signa jammed to the mat. No points there. Looks to be in a little bit of pain.
She must have banged her shoulder. It appears her left shoulder is the problem.
Trainer Tony Spino there to attend to Signa. See if we can see what happened, Larry.
Sky going up high on Signa. Signa didn't appear to bang her shoulder into the mat that badly.
Well, she is being taken to the training room by our 2 trainers, and she will be replaced by Lynn Murphy, who is waiting in the wings.
Lynn not really afforded much warm-up time. As always in sports, you're suddenly catapulted to center arena.
Lynn, 24 years old, from South Pasadena, California, takes over. A stunt woman in the making and a waitress paying the bills. That's how she describes herself.
He's already got a hold of a leg on Electra.
10 seconds to go. Hey, ride 'em cowgirl. 4 seconds.
Electra hangs on, but with a great deal of difficulty.
One thing that Lynn Murphy has proved in just one half of an event, that at least she's going to be aggressive here.
Well, Mike, for a gal that's kind of quiet and retiring, she becomes a real tigress when she gets into the ring of competition. Here, she's muscling Electra, drags her, does a great job of dragging her literally across the ring, gets her out, but time had expired.
Breakthrough and conquer, the name of the game for our men here in this preliminary round matchup between Charles Neal and Jimmy Echols. Charles, our aspiring rap master, will be up first from New York City. He draws laser and breakthrough, and Saber inside the conquering. Not a good draw.
Get ready. Gladiator ready.
Whoa. Interesting, considering he said, he told you, Larry, that he wanted to avoid contact at all costs.
Yeah, he made one quick move, so quick that Laser couldn't even react to it, and then he tried to power over Laser. That's never a good idea.
Get up.
10 seconds left on the conquering clock.
Saber looks like Tyson in the ring. He's got those short, quick power moves.
And he has a genuine dislike for the contender from whistle to whistle. No points for Charles Neal. Try as he might, Laser, Saber prevail.
Charles did try. He's quick as a cat. He's literally all over Saber here, coming at him from every direction. But Saber is mighty quick himself and is able to fend off Charles and deny him the points.
Well, Jimmy Echols is up next, and this contender has some serious shake and bake to his personality. If you think Jimmy Echols has some good moves here, you should see him at work. Jimmy is a professional dancer in his hometown of Camesa, Texas, and claims it's not a half bad way to earn some extra spending money.
they have U-table dance just for them and them only and nobody else. So that's exciting. And then it's when you start, hey, when you make $500 on a week, that's not bad, you know?
Just another pretty face? No way. Jimmy made the Texas Tech University football team as a walk-on his freshman year. He's now a junior working towards a sociology degree and trains hard to keep in shape. After all, his goal is to one day become a Chippendales dancer.
I love to dance and I love to smile, and I just feel like I'm expressing myself in the way that I know how, and that is the best way that I know how.
Well, son, get ready to express yourself in a big way here because you've got some powerful people to get by. Laser and Breakthrough, Saber in the Conquer ring.
Laser's about to express himself. Come up high. Oh, it's very close. It appears that Jimmy was out of bounds. Laser gets enough of him here. He attacks him up pretty high, but he gets him out of bounds.
Gets him out of bounds before he can cross the plane of the goal line. Now he faces Saber in the Conquer ring. All he has to do is take any part of Saber's body outside that circle.
Saber and Jimmy doing a little dancing. Saber lifts him up and slams him to the mat. That had to smart.
Jimmy Echols and Charles Neal come away with no points against the formidable tandem of Laser and Saber.
Look at Saber. He gets under him and brings him right up off the mat and slams him down.
Saber, there's something about you inside that conquering that inspires the contenders. They attack you like you're on sale.
Yeah, I got a finger in the eye or a fist or a foot or something. Yeah, they come after me. I like that, though. You know, the thing you have to do in a conquering when you're the Gladiator is you can't just sit there and play defense, you know? You got to go at them. Just go at them inside the circle. So I like that.
He definitely goes at him. He picks up Echols and throws him on the mat. And lays him down again.
And the good news, Jimmy walks away from that encounter. He's ready for Swingshot next.
Tough one. He's tough.
Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California. And there you see our next event, Swingshot. Our women will go at it first. Lisa Wojciechowski currently enjoying a 19-4 lead over Lynn Murphy, who came on as a replacement for the injured Signa York. Lynn, all Ivy League soccer player while at Columbia University. And meanwhile, in the trainer's room, Signa having a bag of ice placed on her tender shoulder. That's what knocked her out of the competition. For the Gladiators, it'll be Storm and Zap, and once again, the contenders have 60 seconds to leap from their platform, and then using the impetus of that bungee cord, they'll try to grab either the red, blue, or yellow balls, and there you see the scoring breakdown. They have to put them back in the cylinders on their platforms.
Body control, part of the game. Certainly timing a major portion of the game. Contenders knowing exactly when to jump opposite those Gladiators, or that happens.
Yeah, it's easy to get off that tower, but getting back up there is quite another thing. 35 seconds left. Lynn had a chance there, just didn't get high enough.
She had a clear shot, Mike, but she didn't jump out far enough. You got to jump out and clear that tower, then get that lift off the floor. There, she's got it.
Despite the fact that Storm was in her face, Lynn with that yellow ball, that is worth 1 point. She's got it in. 15 seconds remaining.
There's Storm timed that one pretty well.
Storm timed that one real well. Here's Lisa. One last chance probably here. She's got two yellow balls. She's got 4 seconds to get it back in. Oh, man. So close, but yet so far, only 1 point scored in that match, and that by Lynn Murphy, the newcomer who came on in replace of Signa York, who had to withdraw because of injury.
Lynn leaving that platform with a lot of gusto, using a lot of body control, keeps her concentration despite the efforts of the Gladiator. Comes away with that yellow ball.
Well, there's the rundown between Jimmy Echols and Charles Neal. Jimmy with the 1 point lead. They're set to swing. For the Gladiators, it'll be Turbo, the Prince of Midair, and Tower. And Tower happens to be the subject of our Ask a Gladiator segment. Gilbert Pelham from Waynesville, Missouri writes, "Dear Tower, how much weight can you lift?"
there's a lot of different ways I can lift, Gilbert. You know, for example, a bench press is where I lay on my back and I press the weight up straight up over my chest. The best bench press that I ever did, Gilbert, was a 511-pound bench press. I pretty much don't go heavy anymore because of I've been doing this for so long and weight doesn't really matter to me. I'm more concerned on the fact that just getting my workout and getting good strict form and good strict reps. So I really don't go heavy very much anymore, but the best bench press was 511, Gilbert.
That's impressive stuff, and also impressive. Watch Tower hurl his 265 pounds off that platform. Jimmy Echols, unmolested, timed his leap perfectly. He's got a yellow
Exercising
one-pointer.
Jimmy exercising one of the most important skills, knowing when to jump. Because if you jump with the Gladiators, that's what happens. They block you easily.
Here comes Jimmy again, this time Turbo and Tower in his face. Charles Neal just can't get close to that center post. And look at Turbo, he is upside down. Some terrific mid-air collisions there, 25 seconds to go. Charles has got a yellow ball, and he drops it home. Here comes Jimmy towards that center cylinder. He's got a yellow. 10 seconds left to go. You might as well go for it, guys. That's what Jimmy's gonna do. He gets way up there. Ticks a blue. Can't get it, though. And that is it. Jimmy Echols wins it 3-1 and now takes a 15-12 lead over Charles Neal after 4 events.
Talked about body control and timing. Here Jimmy Echols jumps, but his timing's not that great. Check it out. Here come the Gladiators. Keep an eye on Turbo right under Echols. He knows he's still got a hold of that ball. Turbo is reluctant to turn him loose. He does anything he can do to prevent Echols from scoring.
Turbo with that upside down scissors leg lock. Great body control, and he exhibits some more here as he keeps Jimmy from getting that blue ball. We're at halftime here on the American Gladiators, our final preliminary round matchups here in the second half season. Lisa Wojciechowski has a 19-5 lead over alternate Lynn Murphy in the women's competition. And on the men's side of the coin, Jimmy Echols with a 3-point lead over Charles Neal. Charles Neal, who surprised us right from the get-go in Powerball, Larry.
Well, he sure did. He was a little concerned about some of the hitting in Powerball, but came out and scored 6 points.
And Larry, one of the Gladiators that Charles will have to face in the second half of the competition, Turbo. He is standing by in the Gladiator locker room. Turbo, I know you're up and scheduled to go in human Cannonball. You must have nightmares about that event.
No. They're the ones with the nightmares, Mike. I think it breaks down to they figure at between 800 and 1,000 pounds of force they're hitting us, but you got to remember, we're the Gladiators. You watch, I'll step back, I deliver my own blow, and we got a collision going on, baby, and I'm going to win it.
All right, partner, I like that confidence level. Keep it going.
This is one laser who strikes fear in all contenders. Stay tuned, Salt is next.
Power personified and poised to put away the contenders. Siren stands ready for our next event. It's the game of hit or be hit. We call it assault. Siren ready to go. Up first will be Lynn Murphy, who trails Lisa Wojciechowski 19-5 after 4 events. Once again, contenders have 60 seconds in assault to try to hit the target located above the Gladiator. If they can do that, it's worth 10 points. Failing to do so, they can still pick up individual points by successfully firing weapons at one of 5 scoring stations. Lynn desperately trying to get off a shot. That one got Siren a little riled. Again, 60-second time limit. 40 seconds now left on the clock. Ricochets don't count. They have to be direct hits. Lynn lets it go, and she's closing in. Now it's station number 3, 30 seconds to go.
And picked her off.
Lynn Murphy successfully fires 2 weapons, can't get the shot off at station 3, so give her 2 points.
Station 3 is right under the gun. You've got to be more sneaky than this. Lynn exposing a little too much of her upper body. She says, no, I can't believe it. But believe it, Lynn, right here. we've got it documented.
And now Siren aims to go 2 for 2. Lisa Wojciechowski will get her shot at Siren. Wojo, who hails from Laguna Hills, California, has brought a multitude of fans here. As we mentioned, she's an aspiring firefighter. Her nickname, there you see it, Scorch. She'd like to singe Siren's hairs, I think.
You're exactly right, Mike. Wojo's very determined. Siren, again, a great shot. She wastes no time in letting Wojo know that she's going to have to earn every point.
Lisa barely gets that shot off, now heading towards station number 2.
Whoa!
That one must have grazed her. Referee Larry Thompson blew the whistle. Siren does indeed go 2 for 2. Thumbs up. Lisa can't believe it, but she still leads 20-7.
Great stop and go technique by Wojo, but Siren with that fast second shot right here. Wojo isn't expecting it, can't get the brakes on enough.
Well, the men are next, and Gladiator Laser seems to be saying to Siren, anything you can do, I can do just as well. He'll try to go 2 for 2 against first Charles Neal. Charles right now trailing Jimmy Echols by 3 points.
Gladiator, ready!
He's on his way. Laser so smooth at firing that assault cannon.
Oh, Laser almost timed one perfectly there.
40 seconds to go. Come on, Charles, get the shot off.
Charles having a little trouble. Laser lays in the shot.
Charles does pick up 2 points, narrowing the gap to just 1 with Jimmy Echols.
Charles leaving that second weapon. Takes a little bit of a roundhouse approach to station number 3, and it costs him. Right here you see Laser nail him right on the chest protector.
So now Jim Echols lead a slim 1 point, 15-14, but again, he's got his chance here.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready!
Laser giving Jim no time to breathe, or even shoot for that matter. Decides to drop the weapon at station number 1 and move on to station number 2. Try his luck there. Jimmy searching for the triggering device. Sets himself, lets it fly mighty close. Boy, 2 more chances for Jimmy Echols. Yeah, Laser almost guilty of goaltending. He knew it was going to happen. Give our junior sociology major from Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas, 10 big points.
And let's take a peek at the action over Jimmy's shoulder. There's the one that's going to score the points. Watch Laser's right hand. He actually tries to block the shot. Now Jimmy realizes he just picked up 10 points. And is this man happy or what? He goes into his routine. Feels as though he's finally on the board.
Well, there's no goaltending in the next event. It's human cannonball. Event number 6 here on the American Gladiators, human cannonball. We're about to find out whether it's really true or whether it's better to give than receive. The givers in human cannonball will be our contenders, the receivers, Zap and Storm. Each contender given 2 swings. A look at Lynn Murphy, who really needs to get going. She trails 20-7 against Lisa Wojciechowski. Again, each swing worth 5 points. Storm and Zap. Here comes Lynn, here comes Wojo. There goes Zap, there goes Storm. Larry, again, if you get in that perfect tuck, the rest is easy.
Perfect tuck, good straight line. Both contenders doing exactly that. It was picture perfect.
Indeed it was. So they'll get a second chance, though, to see if they can pick up the 10 points. They'll switch gladiators. This time, Lynn will get Zap, and Wojo will get Storm. Here they come. The tuck, the hit. Storm goes flying. Lisa sends her to the mat. But Zap holds her ground, so Wojo picks up 10 more points and now leads 30-12.
This is Wojo's event. Perfect form, good high leap, nice tight tuck. Leads in with that shoulder. Storm tries to absorb it, but can't. Off she goes. You see it from another angle through Storm's helmet cam. There's that shoulder lean in. Great job, Wojo.
Tower and Turbo are standing atop their platforms. Jimmy Echols leads Charles Neal 25-14 after 5 events.
Check the intensity on Charles Neal's face.
Charles will draw Turbo. Jimmy Echols will get Tower. Tower going at 265. Turbo checking in at about 250. Can the two contenders budge our two gladiators? No! Not on that first swing. Larry Turbo biting his lower lip to mask the pain. He really got stung.
And Mike, you see it right here. Turbo drops his pad a little too low, steps in and exposes his shoulder, takes all that impact right on the point of his shoulder.
But if he's hurting, he's not going to let it show.
He's one tough cookie. He'll be ready to play.
There you see his record in Human Cannonball, the one event where the Gladiators are truly at a disadvantage.
Well, you got to stand in there and absorb the blow, and even at 240 or 260, that's a lot to ask.
Second swing coming up. They flip-flop Gladiators.
Turbo used that other shoulder.
And Turbo takes the shot. They did it again. Boy, they got it down to a science. They
throw their weight right into that impact just seconds before it hits them, neutralizing as much of the force as they possibly can.
Turbo and Tower look like synchronized swimmers as they pirouette at exactly the same time. And with momentum on his side, watch Jimmy Echols come at Tower and watch how Tower is able to deflect him off. Jimmy with the big swing, the nice tight tuck, and Tower, he's got his pad up and is able to defract the blow. Good job by our TNT brothers, Tower and Turbo. Coming up next, the Joust.
You all right? Huh? First one, he missed the pad completely, and his hit caught me right inside the head from that point on. It was just hard.
Event number 7 here at Gladiator Arena. That means it's crunch time in today's crunch time event, the Joust. One-on-one competition, hand-to-hand style with military pugil sticks. A look now at Charles Neal, who trails Jim Echols in his preliminary round match by 11 points, 25-14. Charles has drawn Viper.
Charles says he likes to avoid contact at all cost.
Whoa, Viper let up.
Viper let up.
What a mistake. He thought he had Charles going and just dropped his stick almost and watched Charles go. Problem was Charles didn't go and fought back and caught Viper off guard. Woo! Was that a big 10 points?
That was also a big hit. We're going to call this a zonk. Watch Viper's jaw right here. That is definitely a zonk hit.
Viper bites the dust, an angry man. Jimmy Echols, after 10 points by Charles Neal, only leads by 1, but it's his turn to joust. He draws Viper as well.
One word on Viper's mind right now, and it's revenge.
Viper's certainly not about to make the same mistake of being lackadaisical. He immediately goes on the attack. Jimmy Echols immediately goes off balance, and down he goes, no points. And a huge swing here in crunch time. Charles Neal picks up 10 points and now moves to within 1 after 7 events.
Viper comes to the joust with an attitude, and he wastes no time in wreaking a little havoc on Echols' head right there.
Well, Larry, the women are ready, and let's see if Lynn Murphy can use crunch time to her advantage. She trails Lisa Wojciechowski 30-12. Lynn up first. Who does she draw? One of the very best. Her name, Electra.
Whoa. Electra with an overhand smash to the head of Lynn. Spiral and sends her off the platform.
A left hook, right cross. A 6-second KO for Electra. No points for Lynn Murphy.
Electra with this overhand smash to the jaw of Lynn. And then right afterwards, she looks so feminine and dainty.
Well, Wojo doesn't plan to be dainty here. As a matter of fact, to train for the hand-to-hand combat of the Joust, she waxed boats for 8 hours a day. Remember the Karate Kid with those circular hand movements for mental discipline. There's Electra. Her record in the Joust: 3 wins, 1 defeat, 5 draws. And Wojo is giving Electra a hard time. 20 seconds to go.
Electra landing some very tough blows. Wojo just absolutely absorbing them.
5 seconds remain in this Joust. It looks like Lisa Wojciechowski. She's gone the distance. She picks up 5 points for the draw and will take a 35-12 lead with her into the final event, the Eliminator.
Electra again doing a good job of landing some blows. There you see her taking a few jabs. But she's connected several times with Wojo's jaw. Wojo was just able to hang in there.
The preliminary round of our second half season about to come to a close here at Gladiator Arena and in the Eliminator in our women's competition. Lisa Wojciechowski has built up a commanding 23-point lead over Lynn Murphy, good for an 11.5-second head start. Lisa has been a real study and inspiration this afternoon, and Larry's with her at the start line.
Lisa, on 2 occasions today, you've mentioned the memory of your mother and how you find that so motivational. Is that memory going to be present with you during this race?
She's the wind beneath my wings, and I hope she's going to carry me up and over and across the finish line, Larry.
That says it all. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And Larry, I'm sure she's watching someplace.
Miss Davis class is #1.
Of course, Wojo's got the big 11.5-second head start, and that is going to be mighty, mighty tough for Lynn Murphy to make up. But the very first obstacle, that incline treadmill, can spell trouble. On course for the Gladiators underneath the hand bike, it'll be Siren and Sky, ready to impose a 10-second penalty if need be, and down the final straightaway, activating the gauntlet. It'll be Electra and Storm. And the Eliminator is brought to you by Milky Way. Enjoy the smooth chocolate and caramel taste of Mars Milky Way Bar.
Ready!
Lisa will try to win this one going away, but remember, she has to stay mistake-free. Lynn Murphy still waiting at the start line. Lisa Wojciechowski struggling on the hand bike. Lynn Murphy has finally made it up if she can scoot across this iron beam. She might be in good shape, but she's having problems as well. Lisa already on the cargo net and doing well. Lynn Murphy goes careening off that spinning cylinder. That will cost her precious time. And Wojo, that breezy trip down the zip line. I think she senses victory. The final straightaway, this wall, not much of a problem. Lisa Wojciechowski, training to become a firefighter, an aspiring screenplay writer, has done it. She's in the semifinals.
Wojo, you've been a lady on a mission. You've conquered nearly everything we've asked you to do today.
I have given it my best, Larry. So far, so good.
Well, I know you've been very serious about this and dedicating this race to the memory of your mother, and you've done a fine job.
I'm ready, Larry. Thanks.
All right, Mike.
And a very determined Lynn Murphy finishing up. She had a huge deficit to make up and just couldn't do it. Our congratulations to her as well. But it's Lisa who's moving on. On the men's side, Jimmy Echols and Charles Neal are virtually deadlocked. Only 1 point separates the two contenders. As a result, the aspiring Chippendales dancer and Texas Tech student will get a mere 1/2 second head start. Charles Neal is hardly the underdog.
Charles, we spoke before the show. You were a little concerned about some of the events, but let's be frank. You couldn't be in a better situation. You're breathing right down his neck.
You got it, Larry. It's now busy time. It's time to do this. Win, lose, or draw. But I'm on top.
Get busy.
Thanks, Larry.
All right.
New York City versus Austin, Texas, and just 1/2 second separates these two men. 1 point.
Step to the line. You go on my whistle.
For the Gladiators underneath the hand bike. There they are. Turbo and Viper striking the epic pose and down the final straightaway. Hoping to give the contenders a few problems, it'll be Laser and Tower. Referee Larry Thompson sends the two men on their way. Here they go. Charles Neal smoking that hand bike. He's cut into that 1/2 second lead if that's possible. They both make it across the cylinders. This will tell the tale right here, the cargo net. The more you fight it, the more it fights back. It is Charles Neal who gets the better of it. He's the first man to reach the zip line. Here they go, practically side by side. Jimmy slightly behind. Now it's the wall. You saw Charles take a peek to see where Jimmy was. Well, that's where he is. He's past you, Charles. You better hustle. It is Jimmy Echols in come from behind fashion. And that momentary peek may have cost Charles Neal a berth. Jimmy Echols, a time of 44 seconds. Charles Neal, a time of 46. Wow.
Jimmy, when you were on that cargo net and Charles appeared out of nowhere, was there a surge of adrenaline?
Oh, man, he was right on my tail. I just knew if I get across that log, get up there, and try to catch Charlie at the top, I know I can give him a good race at the end, Larry.
Well, congratulations, Jimmy, for pulling it out. Gentlemen, a great race. Thank you. Mike?
Charles and Jimmy congratulate one another. Jimmy limping a bit, bruised, but he is victorious and moving on to the second round. So for Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamley. See you next week on The American Gladiators.